Hello everyone, this is Hilary Zhou. Welcome to our weekly VOC English News program, where we bring you the latest and most significant news from Chinland this week. Our highlighted news tonight. The Zhou Reunification Organization, ZORO, has announced that under its leadership, an initial agreement with 5 key points have been reached during the first ever meeting between the government of Chinland, the Chinland National Front, CNF, and the Interim Chin National Consultative Council, ICNCC, and Chin Brotherhood, CB, in Aizawl, Mizoram. The historic event marks a significant step in fostering unity and collaboration among Chin organizations. Following the military coup in Myanmar, the Chin Human Rights Organization, CHRO, reports that over 73 Chin children, including infants, have been killed as a result of violent crackdowns by the junta across the country. The toll highlights the severe impact of ongoing conflicts on the most vulnerable. The Myanmar military regime has made a surprising move by extending a proposal to armed ethnic groups and People's Defense Forces, PDFs, that emerged from the Spring Revolution, urging them to disarm and resolve political issues through dialogue. However, resistance groups remain skeptical about the offer, given the military's history of failed negotiations. We'll be diving deeper into these stories and more throughout this broadcast. The Zhou Reunification Organization, ZORO, has announced that an initial agreement consisting of 5 key points was reached during the first ever meeting held in Aizawl, Mizoram, between the government of Chinland, the Chin National Front, CNF, and the Interim Chin National Consultative Council, ICNCC, and Chin Brotherhood, CB, under its leadership. The meeting held on September 21st saw representatives of the Chin, Kuki, and Mizo ethnic groups acknowledging their shared ancestry, languages, and cultural traditions, recognizing that they have lived as brothers for generations. The statement from ZORO also highlighted that all parties expressed regret over the internal disagreements that have emerged during the revolutionary activities and vowed to prevent such divisions in the future. The meeting's outcome includes a commitment from both sides not to use armed means to resolve future disagreements. Instead, the groups have pledged to prioritize peaceful dialogues to ensure the success of ongoing peace process. Moreover, they have agreed that necessary follow-up meetings will be conducted whenever required to resolve any emerging issues. In addition, the parties have agreed to establish a peace committee to facilitate future discussions. During the next round of talks, a formal structure for this peace committee will be set up, according to ZORO's statement. The meeting took place at the office of Bu Lenwanpuya Bunte, the deputy chairman of ZORO and an advisor to the Mizoram chief minister, and began at noon. The government of Chinland was represented by Chief Minister Bu Patang, with Vice Chairman Bu Tangninki representing the CNF. The ICNCC Chin Brotherhood side was represented by Salai Lien Loi Postila and Salai Peterthang. Currently, Chinland is witnessing political disagreements among revolutionary groups after more than 3 years of armed resistance. These disagreements have led to a split, with factions supporting the Chinland Council government on one side and others backing the Interim Chin National Consultative Council, ICNCC, on the other. Tensions escalated during the Mutupi town battles, where armed clashes between the Chinland Council government forces and the Chin Brotherhood resulted in fatalities on both sides. Such incidents have heightened concerns about internal divisions, prompting ZORO to step in as a mediator, urging all sides to uphold peace and unity to prevent further conflicts. ZORO's mediation efforts are seen as a crucial intervention to foster reconciliation and strengthen solidarity within the Chin community during this critical period. According to the Chin Human Rights Organization, CHRO, since the military coup, at least 73 Chin children, including infants, have been killed across the country as a result of brutal actions by the military junta. The report released on September 19th highlights that these children aged under 18 have lost their lives due to various forms of attacks, including aerial bombings, artillery shelling, and landmines across Chin State, Sagaing region, Kalay Township, and other regions nationwide. CHRO spokesperson have emphasized that some of these children were killed while sheltering in religious buildings, monasteries, and schools targeted by military airstrikes. Due to the severity of these attacks, Chin children currently fear attending schools, and many have been forced out of educational opportunities, especially in conflict zones within Chin State. One of the deadliest incidents took place on January 7, 2024, when the military junta launched an airstrike on Chinland village in Gambalu Township, a Chin majority area. 17 civilians were killed, including 9 children, while 19 others sustained injuries, with 10 of them being children. In another tragic incident in November 2023, the military junta carried out an aerial bombing and a machine gun attack on a study group in the village of Welu Matupi Township. The brutal assault claimed the lives of 11 residents, including 8 children who were engaged in studying at the time. The CHRO has meticulously documented these cases of intentional attacks against Chin children and stated that they are preparing to present these reports to internal courts, including the Independent Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar, IIMM, to seek justice for these victims. CHRO stated, "We are determined to pursue legal actions to hold the military accountable, whether at international courts or through the IIMM." Additionally, the CHRO pointed out that these systematic killings have left many Chin children orphaned, further highlighting the long-term impact of the junta's violent actions on the Chin community. The military junta has issued an invitation to ethnic armed organizations and the People's Defense Forces, PDFs, that emerged from Myanmar's Spring Revolution, urging them to lay down their arms and resolve the political issues through non-military means. The junta's statement, released by its information department on the evening of September 26, calls for these groups to abandon the path of armed conflict and engage in dialogue through political means, whether by forming political parties or through participation in future elections. According to the junta, this initiative aims to prevent further losses resulting from internal armed conflicts and to establish permanent peace and development in the country alongside the people. However, the junta's message has been met with skepticism and strong criticism from several groups. Salai Tani, the spokesperson for the Chin National Front (CNF), commented on the announcement, stating that the junta's offer is merely a ploy to secure its own interests. He argued that the invitation is nothing more than an attempt by the junta to legitimize its power and prepare for the upcoming elections, which are part of its 5-point roadmap. This is just a move to prolong the rule of regime and to make the 2025 elections a reality, he remarked. In addition, other ethnic armed organizations have also rejected the junta's proposal, expressing that they have no trust in the military's intentions and questioning the sincerity of its invitation. Amid significant military setbacks across the country, the junta has announced its intention to hold a nationwide census beginning October 1st as a preparatory step for the general elections scheduled for 2025. The invitation to ethnic armed groups and PDFs to resolve political issues through peaceful means comes just days before the planned census is set to begin. Despite the junta's call for disarmament and political engagement, reports of continued aerial bombings and violent crackdowns in ethnic regions and across the country have led to rising civilian casualties on a daily basis. The situation remains dire, with the junta maintaining a heavy-handed approach even as it promotes its vision of a political resolution. The Chin Defense Force Hakka CDF Hakka has issued a stern warning stating that they will treat all non-CDM civil disobedience movement government staff who participate in the military junta's nationwide census collection as collaborators and may target them accordingly. The announcement was made on September 23rd, indicating a significant escalation in the group's stance towards those assisting the military regime. According to reports, the junta summoned all departmental staff in Hakka Chin State on September 23rd to participate in a training session on census collection procedures aimed at preparing for the upcoming population census set to begin on October 1st. This training is part of the military regime's broader plan to facilitate the national census as a step towards holding general elections in 2025. CDF Hakka mentioned that while they had previously declared on June 16, 2022, that non-CDM staff working with the junta would be viewed as allies of the regime, they had refrained from targeting these individuals until now. However, the group emphasized that the situation has changed, stating that they will now consider anyone involved in the junta's census collection effort, including non-CDM staff, as aiding the regime's agenda and will act accordingly. City of Hakka's mourning comes amid growing tensions and widespread military defeats suffered by the junta across the country, as the military regime's attempts to secure its position by organizing a general election in 2025, it has ramped up efforts to implement the nationwide census beginning on October 1st, a move that has been met with resistance from multiple fronts. With the situation in Chin State and other regions remaining volatile, this latest declaration by City of Hakka has raised concerns over the potential escalation of violence against government staff working with the military regime. In the An Township area of Rakhine State, young Chin people from several villages are fleeing their homes due to forced recruitment by the Arakan Army ULA-AA, according to local sources. Villages such as Dukan, Ruchin, Mawa, Dapia, Medanju, Melemao, Hando Uchiyua, inhabited by the Asho and Sumtu Chin communities, are experiencing increased pressure as the Arakan Army actively recruits new fighters. The recruitment is being carried out under the guise of village security training, where between 5 to 10 youths from each village are selected through a lottery system. This has led to a mass exodus of Chin youth who have fled to Yangon and other areas to escape the forced conscription, as reported by a local source familiar with the situation. A resident stated that while forced recruitment by the Arakan Army targeting Chin people has been occurring since 2017, before the military coup, the situation has worsened significantly since 2022. The increase in recruitment efforts has pushed many families into a state of distress, as parents are compelled to take responsibility for their children's names being drawn in the lottery system. Parents are often pressured to bring their sons and daughters back to fulfill their conscription if their names are selected. If they fail to comply, the Arakan Army demands compensation ranging from 600,000 to 700,000 jet, according to the source. Additionally, it's reported that in cases where the selected youth refuses to undergo military training, families can pay the same amount to exempt them from recruitment. However, these claims could not be independently verified. An Township, where these incidents are taking place, serves as the headquarters of the Western Military Command, NAPACA, the largest military base in Rakhine State. The area has been the scene of frequent clashes between the Arakan Army and the Myanmar military, but so far the Arakan Army has not managed to secure control over the region. In Chin State, residents of Tantlang Township have now marked 3 years since they were forced to flee their town due to the ongoing conflicts. Over the past 3 years of living as internally displaced persons, more than 160 people have reportedly lost their lives, according to local sources. The mass exodus began in mid-September 2021 when military junta forces started setting fire to homes in Tantlang town. Clashes between the military junta troops and Chinland army forces intensified within the town, leading to a fierce battle. As a result, the entire town was abandoned by September 21st, 2021, with all residents fleeing to safer areas. From September 21st, 2021 to September 21st, 2024, a total of 164 Tantlang residents have passed away while living as displaced persons. Their funerals were held in various locations, including 12 towns and villages in Mizoram, India, and 38 villages within Myanmar, as shared by U Ramkar, a community leader from Tantlang, through his social media account. Chinland, located just 20 miles from Hakka town, was home to more than 2,000 households and a population of over 10,000 residents before the conflict. The town has been completely reduced to ashes due to the military's arson attacks, leaving it in ruins. Displaced residents from Chinland have sought refuge in various locations, including New Delhi, India, 43 villages in Mizoram, 87 villages within Chinland Township itself, and cities such as Yangon, Mandalay, Galay, Hakka, and Palam within Myanmar. In total, they have spread across 136 towns and villages in both India and Myanmar. Currently, the government of Chinland's forces have launched the Tilim Operation 4 to clear the town of remaining junta troops. Most of the Thantlang's areas are now under the control of Chin state government forces, with stability slowly returning to the war-torn town. Thank you for tuning into our weekly VOC English news. We will be back with more updates in our next broadcast. We hope to see you again next week.